Ladies and gents, hello and welcome. My name, of course, is Little Potato. Here we check out the latest and greatest strategy games each and every day of the week. Today we are checking out Rogue State Revolution. Rogue State Revolution is kind of the game that you would get if you crossed civilization with democracy. You've got this sort of hex-based building simulation type game crossed with a pretty deep political simulation management aspect as well. So we're going to jump into the game here. We're going to go and play on easy mode, and the reason that we're going to play on easy mode is because this is a very, very, very challenging game. It's also a very, very deeply complex game as well. So we're going to see if we can try and, explore all of the features of the game without getting pummeled too badly. We'll see what the heck happens. Anyway, there is going to be a little bit of a cutscene here, but for the sake of expedience, I don't actually think that it is very relevant. Basically, long story short, we are taking control of a country that used to be in a state of civil war. We've just had our first proper democratic elections. I was elected, yada yada yada. We get to be in control, we get to be in power. Okay, this is the first stage of the game, and here we have to appoint our cabinet. Now, hold on a second. I know what you're saying. This looks crazy. This looks absolutely freaking wild. Yes, everyone has got a whole bunch of different sort of drawbacks and perks. This is our military advisor. He will advise loyalty above all else, whereas this is our political advisor, and our political advisor is more persuasive and manipulative, as opposed to this guy who's all about loyalty. Anyway, it doesn't really particularly matter who we choose for these different roles. I mean, there is definitely an element of what they can all do. However, we're not going to necessarily worry about it too much. We're going to just jump into things and get started.
New cabinet minister
Cool.
for an unstaffed ministry.
All right,
Should you choose
great.
to do
I
so.
appreciate
More
that.
ministers mean more opportunities to do great things.
Indeed, it's
And
true.
more people to keep happy.
Indeed.
Excellency.
Okay, so here's what we're presented with at the very start of the game. So first and foremost, this is our country. This is Basenji. It's split into 5 regions. In each of these regions, they've got a whole bunch of different stats. As you can see over here, the provincial overview is a nice little snapshot of all of the information and all of the stuff that is going on in our nation. We've got resource production and demand, and each of these different resources has each got a different sort of production chain. So, for example, the raw food supply chain, the way that it works is it's produced in agricultural field or in UN aid camps at the moment, but we'll probably be getting rid of those. And it moves to the city where it feeds the people. Very, very simple. Processed food supply chain, kind of similar. It uses oil, plastic to make the packaging, combined with the food in a manufacturing plant, fed to the city, easy peasy, and so on. Every single chain is, it's got its own little quirks. Anyway, doesn't particularly matter for the time being because we're not super in need of any of these items at this specific moment in time. So, economic health, we got a little bit of cash in the tank. We got a little bit of cash in the tank here. If we go into review budget, we can actually see exactly what the financial situation is. Obviously, we have we've got a lot of expenditure at the moment, and we can modulate each and every sort of one of these sliders up and down in order to adjust any specific element of a specific province's well-being. So, for example, if we wanted to fund education in Sabah, then we could absolutely do that. However, if we do decide to do that, then that obviously means that we're going to decrease the amount of money that we have access to. On the whole, our income tax is the only thing, actually, that is bringing us in money. So increasing prosperity and raising income tax, or maybe introducing another tax altogether, it's definitely an option. Anyway, what else have we got over here? Intelligence, we'll talk a little bit about that later on. Power generation is something that is super easy to fix, and it is fixed as part of the tutorial. So I need to find... Do we have a power plant already that we need to connect up to the grid, or not? We may have to build a power plant. If we do have to build a power plant, it's not necessarily the It's not necessarily the end of the world. No, we do not have a power plant. We do have a power plant. Okay, cool. So there are two things over here. What we need to do is we basically just need to build a road between them. This is part of the way that the game, like, tutorializes. So if we do this, then we supply more than enough power and everyone is happy. Now, by building that road, you may have noticed that there was a little circle. There was a little yellow circle right next to the icon. That basically means that we are going to be consuming an action point. How do you get action points? I hear you ask. Well, it is determined by the number of ministers that you have in your cabinet at any one time. So if you lose a minister, then you will lose an action point as well until you're able to reappoint a minister. So it's absolutely imperative to make sure that we have 4 ministers at all times so that we can actually get as much bang for our buck on each and every turn. Right, what else do we really want to chat about? Nothing really. There's a huge construction interface here, which is very nice. Very, very in-depth. And this is only a little part of it as well, because obviously there's a whole bunch of buildings that we can actually unlock through research, which is kind of cool. A freaking launch pad? Let's absolutely go. Yes, very, very, very interested in that. I don't think that we necessarily need to construct anything at the moment. It might be worth us getting a little bit of food set up, because at the moment we're getting all of our food from UN aid camps, and I think that we can change that. I think that we can change that if we want to elect to build our own agricultural industry up, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So let's see if we can nab an agricultural field. Pretty sure that we can only build this on green areas. Do we want, like, a specific area to be agriculture focused? I mean, this is a pretty good area to be agriculture focused, right? Sure, let's go for something like that. So it cost us a little bit of money. It cost us a single action point, as you can recall. Do we need another agriculture field? Not particularly at all. Anyway, you can actually see what it requires in order to be built. 30 coins, 2 power, 1 worker, and that's also, I believe, 1 action point or 1 turn. Rural approval also is increased. There's a whole bunch of information and demographics and stuff that you can really dive into. There's a huge amount of breakdowns. There's so much stuff going on. Look at this. Commodity prices, food, oil, bauxite, gold ore, uranium, plastics, aluminium, gold bars, processed food, household goods, consumer electronics, and luxury goods all in here. I don't think that there's necessarily anything that we need to do. Other than, of course, build a road out to there. Excellent. Notice that didn't consume an additional action, but that's because we'd already built roads previously. What else do we want to get up and running? It's probably worth us doing a little bit of prospecting. Again, this is stuff that would usually happen as part of the tutorial, but because we're not going through that, I need to do it all myself here. So what is this? These are some little hotkeys that allow you to fast travel to buildings of super importance. We've got the refinery here, the oil refinery, which gives us, or the power plant, should I say, which gives us from oil, gives us power, and then we've got the oil refinery over here, which gives us free oil just out of the ground. Anyway, back over to this side of the map, we've got the palace at Majmarha? I have absolutely no idea. Anyway, the point of the matter is that we need to train a surveyor, and we also probably want to see if we can try and get a facilities inspector at some point.
Excellency.
But the surveyor is super important because we're able to survey and prospect for new types of resources. So we're hopefully going to come across a whole bunch of new resources that we're going to be able to, turn into money, basically. What do we got here? We've got oil. Okay, I mean, that is good. I like that a lot. We've also used up literally every one of our action points, so I don't necessarily feel too bad about going to the next turn. Now, at the end of the turn, you will be faced with, oftentimes, a couple of decisions, that you need to make. So what do we got here? Certain extreme liberals and fundamentalists are urging families not to get their children vaccinated. They're citing fraudulent studies and selective endorsements by pseudo-intellectuals, but this poses a potential health risk to Basenji if it is allowed to continue. Right, so we've got a bunch of choices here. I mean, I think I think we're going to fund the vaccination education campaign. We actually have plenty of money at this moment in time. We didn't get the other education bonus, but we did get a little bit of an increase in health across the country. That's kind of nice. Okay, what do we got here? Greetings, Excellency. My name is President Adela Azi of the Republic of Kalshara. Congratulations on your recent election. The people have chosen wisely by making you their head of state. Our two nations have a proud history of mutual cooperation, so please don't hesitate to contact me for anything you might need. How good is that? That really allows us to introduce the diplomacy aspect of the game as well. Again, it's crazy. This game just has absolutely freaking everything. So, here's an interesting element to consider. So we've got Kalshara here. Kalshara is interested in oil, and I just happen to have prospected and found an oil deposit. Might be worth us looking to see if we can trade a little bit of oil here. Either way, there are 3 countries that we can interact with. Chichenistan, that's a highly strange name for a country. Anyway, we've also got an international stance over here as well. So diplomatic influence, international security, rule of law. Anyway, you know, we can change and modify all of these different bits and bobs. We've also got to consider the superpowers as well. And certainly we don't really want to get on the wrong side of them, because if you do, then we're going to be left for dead. Literally, we are going to be in la big trouble. Okay, let's talk specifically about cabinet ministers and the Ministry of Finance, for example, here. We've got Tariq Badur at the moment, who is a conservative, secular individual. Siphon random small quantities from your treasury every turn, but upgrading buildings in his department will always be free. Oh, that's interesting indeed. That is very, very interesting indeed. Okay, so there's 2 sort of tech trees here. We've got a tax tech tree. We've got a labor tech tree as well. Now, governance is a series of trade-offs, frankly. There is a whole bunch of trade-offs that we can make. We could introduce a regressive tax system, which would absolutely tank liberal approval, or we could leave the proportional tax system as is, or we could, you know, perhaps introduce a progressive tax system, which would increase liberal approval and decrease conservative approval. So there's a whole bunch of policies that we have here to play around with as well. Also, this area over here, this is the research tech tree. Now, the research tech tree is different for each and every minister. So, same with the policies. We've got a whole bunch of stuff that we can research. And basically, ministers research their own policies if you don't choose for them. What do we want to do? Offshore banking, increase our income. Casino, state investments. New options in the budget menu allow you to invest treasury surpluses and secure the future of our people. I'm not sure if I love that. Tax credits, regulate cryptocurrency, legal immigrant approval, increasing prosperity, decreasing international security. I mean, sure, whatever. I'm a rogue state. Come on, I gotta go for offshore banking, right? All right, so let's set the research agenda for all of our ministers here real quick. What do we got? Intel per turn. Yeah, we'll talk about Intel later. Rigid rule of law, and authorized use of torture. We don't want to do that, I don't think. That's a little crazy. Conscript army. We could unlock conscription, which will unlock the conscript army option for us. National defense or occupation army. All units gain +1 attack bonus when they're outside Basenji, but suffer -1 attack penalty when they're inside. That's very interesting. I mean, do I care about anything here? Let the minister decide. Sure, we'll leave Kareem to do what he wants here. All right. Minister for Energy and the Environment. I think that we're okay with you. Infrastructure renewal permits greater financial investment in the provincial conservation budget than previous limits. I don't think that we're that bothered about conservation, to be honest. Green economy. Resource production building costs increased by 100. All polluting buildings add 3 to their operating costs. As you can see, there is a huge number of trade-offs here. Electronic waste recycling, vehicle inspections, carbon market. I mean, you can see for yourself all of the crazy decisions that we get to make here. Again, let's let you decide. I'm not actually super bothered. Ministry of Development. I kind of like the idea of increasing my income through toll roads. Yeah, you know what? Let's freaking go. Prioritize cars, fiscal responsibility, or prioritize sustainability. Lowers traffic congestion. I don't actually think that I care about traffic congestion at the moment. Traffic congestion is one of these weird things where we're not really going to see it happen until it happens. I know that sounds insane, but it's true. Look at this. All green. All green on Basenji's glorious roads, eh? All green on Basenji's glorious roads. Also, we can probably start to think about dismantling... Yeah, we can probably start to think about dismantling some of these UN food camps as well, or UN aid camps. We don't necessarily need them. So that's looking pretty darn good.
Excellency.
Right, Surveyor, let's take you...
Excellency.
Let's take you over here.
Very well.
Let's get you moved over there. Excellent. And we're also going to see if we can try and export that oil. If you recall, I did say... we'll get you to survey this area here. It's going to take 1 action point from me. No. I didn't mean to do that. I did not mean to do that. Do not disband. Do not promote. Just stay there. Yeah, that's fine. What was the resource that you found? Or perhaps you're going to tell me next turn. That's completely fine. Right, we want to see if we can try and export this oil. So let's go into construction. Let's go into... Is it oil... Is it an oil refinery that I'm after? I think it is. I think it is an oil refinery that I'm after. Must be built on a surveyed oil deposit. The reason that I queried that is because you can refine oil, but you can only refine it into stuff like plastics as well. So, you know, you just got to be... You got to be careful. You got to be careful what you're building, where you're building it. Okay, build roads. Let's connect this up to the road network. We can upgrade these roads, by the way, if we want to, but it's going to cost us a pretty penny to do so, and I'm honestly not super bothered. Missing road connection to power plant or plastics factory that demand our product. Yes. Now, here's what I was thinking. If we hop into the diplomacy overview and we give up, we give my friend Adela Azzy a call. We'll go negotiate trade. We'll say, hey, take some oil. Don't forget to build a road connection. Yeah, we should probably try and do that. What, 90? 90 anticipated export capacity. Apparently, this is what we can do. We can absolutely do that. We are pleased you are able to assist us with this. We will ensure our payments to your producers are timely. Excellent. Good stuff. All right, so let's make sure that we categorically have a road in place. Should be able to build it. Now, you're up here. So all we need to do is get ourselves a road. There we go. Costs us a little bit of cash, but it's absolutely worth it. Do we want to get it upgraded? Would cost us 16, but I think it's fine. I think it's fine. And hopefully the export system should just work. That's the dream anyway. A large American fast food chain is seeking your permission to bring their operations to Basenji. If we approve, we will get prosperity, and it's likely that we will get negative health. You know what? I'm gonna say +1 health. Because we've already made progress in the health field. Why don't we continue to push health in Basenji? This seems very, very reasonable indeed. Okay, I think if we go into budget review here, international exports. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Look at that. Oil exports is bringing in 16 Basenji bucks each and every month, which is lovely, lovely, lovely indeed. In fact, we're actually making money here. We can issue bonds. We can take out a little bit of a loan. At 17% interest, though, that is absolutely brutal. Right. I mean, everything looks fine enough at the moment. Nothing in the newsfeed, nothing in the objectives quite yet. There's no doubt going to be some objectives coming online at some point soon. Surveyor, did you do your surveying thing?
Excellency.
You haven't done any surveying in a little while. Let's see if we can try and move you over there. Sure, and then we'll go and survey exactly what's hip and happening in this vicinity. Right, I don't think that there is anything that I'm particularly bothered about at this moment in time. It's probably worth us spending some of our money in order to build some pretty useful buildings, right? I mean, a seaport is not necessarily a bad idea. A seaport is not necessarily a bad idea at all. Sure. Let's freaking go. Let's build a seaport, and hopefully this is just going to increase our prosperity. It does increase our prosperity. That's great. So it only increases our prosperity in this specific region, but that's absolutely fine. Now, it's worth noting, by the way, that each and every building that you end up building consumes workers and also power. So we need to make sure that we always have available workers in this region. We've got 32 at this present moment, and we need to make sure that we also have the available power. And it looks like entertainment in the region of Saba is particularly low, which I don't necessarily love. I think we just really want to see if we can try and create a whole bunch of money out of nothingness, right? Like, that's kind of what we're after. I mean, it might even be worth us, if it's possible. Yeah, I could train another resource surveyor and take you down this way here.
Very well.
Yeah, I think that's not necessarily a terrible idea, because exploiting natural resources does indeed seem like a pretty darn good idea to me. It's going to be a little bit expensive in the short term, but it'll absolutely be worth it. Right. Anything else that we are super bothered about at this moment in time? Not particularly. We do need to, be careful about elections. There will be elections in the future, if of course we want them to be. Entertainment. Why don't we build a stadium in Saba? Why don't we build a stadium in Saba? This is actually like a pretty good idea. Also, this is a... Sure, let's build a stadium in Saba to increase entertainment, right? There we go. Look at that. Immediately sorted out our entertainment, which is kind of nice. Okay, Home of the Lions. Season record. Okay, all right. I mean, that's great. Home of the Lions. That leaves us with one additional action to take over the course of this turn. We could shut down another one of these camp things here. Sure, let's do that. Let's do that. All right, and then we'll go to the next turn as well. We're leaving one action point on the table, but I'm quite happy with that. Excellency, bauxite prices have plummeted recently as many new producers have come online in the developing world. Aluminium is now anticipated to be much more cheaply available for the world. I'm fine with that. Understood. That there's nothing that we can do about that at all. Hello, this is another one of our next-door neighbors. Would like us to do more towards improving our diplomatic influence. Agree if you think we can do it over the next 8 months. I think that I can agree to do that. Sure, let's give it a shot. I'm trying to work on my relationship with everyone. Ideally, in an ideal world, we're able to be quite happy with everyone, and everyone's able to be quite happy with me. But we'll have to see. I'm looking for the diplomacy interface, please, video game. So our diplomatic influence is pretty low, to be honest. Pretty darn low. Yeah. I don't love that. I don't love that at all. So, probably working on offshore banking is a particularly bad way to actually grow our diplomatic influence. Now, there are a couple of things that we can do to grow our diplomatic influence. If I'm not mistaken, if we do something like, if we use an embassy, is that going to allow us to increase our diplomatic influence? I think the diplomatic influence basically is is just like an overview of, yeah, it's an overview of pretty much all of our policies and all of the recent actions that we've taken. So we may be able to increase our diplomatic influence a little bit through that, but I mean, we're probably going to have to go towards progressive, regressive. Freaking okay. I mean, there is basically a 0% chance that we're going to be able to make this happen, but a rating of 4, it's a good ambition. Right. Let's see if we can try and build an embassy. How much is that going to cost me? Sure. I'm assuming, by the way, that we're going to be able to build one of each. We'll start with the U.S. Embassy. How about that? All right. Build the U.S. Embassy. Costs basically nothing. All right. We can plan bilateral agreements, incomplete requirements, and international airports. How much would it cost to actually build an international airport? 90 bucks, prosperity and immigrant approval, only one permitted. It's going to cost us 10 workers, 10 power. You know what? I think that this is probably absolutely worth it, right? What about we build it like right in the center here? Sure, let's freaking go. Okay, so I'm very, very, very cash strapped now, but we can now plan bilateral trades here. This is very cool. They require us to have constructed an international airport, have an international security leadership rating of greater than 6, and have 10 intelligence points available to share. Let's absolutely freaking do that. Okay, so relations with the US are on the up and up. We need to accumulate 15 intelligence points, and we need to have a rule of law rating that is greater than 6. Hold on, do I not have a rule of law rating that is greater than 6? Unfortunately not. Okay, that's a bit of a bummer. That is a bit of a bummer. We will work on that, and I tell you what, one of the ways that we can work on that is actually by introducing a more, there we go, rigid rule of law. Brilliant. Let's do this next turn, because we're gonna have the 15 intelligence that we're after next turn, and after that we're gonna institute a rigid rule of law. Yeah, very, very cool. Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. I don't think that that's necessarily terrible. Is there perhaps anything else that we can consider? Liberal approval, regulated internet, intel per turn. Oh, we actually get multiple intel per turn. Basenji nets. Interesting. Privacy laws. Yeah. Okay. I mean, look, this is gonna be tough to increase our rule of law, but that's okay. There is actually, if I'm not mistaken, a facilities inspector can, as an action, remove all corruption from adjacent resource-producing buildings. So, yeah, corruption is at 0% at the National Petrogas oil refinery. What's it like over here? 2% over here? And also it's 0% over here because it's not a resource production building. So we don't necessarily need a facilities inspector quite yet. We could train a palace guards, but I don't think that that's super necessary. Here's what we are going to do, actually, speaking of construction. We are going to get ourselves a... Where is it? Not an intelligence agency, but definitely that is something that we're going to do. We're going to build ourselves a military base. And the reason that we're going to be able to get ourselves a military base is because I am absolutely terrified that we are going to get pummeled with some sort of nonsense event. And I think I will train like one military unit just to make sure that we've at least got some sort of like degree of flexibility if the worst comes to the worst. All right, civilians are at work. Great. And you're going to move over there. You're going to move over here. We've already preset the movement for all of these civilians, so that's just fine. Okay, makeshift shelters of corrugated steel and salvage debris line the outskirts of our major cities as shantytowns start to appear in response to the severe homelessness crisis. Construct new apartments for the homeless and demolish shantytowns. Draft the homeless into the army. I mean, or just do nothing. I think that I like the idea of probably doing this. I don't necessarily hate this idea. It's just a lot of money. I guess we'll go for it. Sure. +1 environment quality, +5% liberal approval. Let's do it. All right. Let's explore what we've got going on. Bauxite. Really? Bauxite after I determined that it was kind of garbage? Yeah, we're not really super interested in bauxite at the moment, but I mean, if it's all that we've got, then it's all that we've got. Let's see what you've got over here. No noteworthy resource deposits here. Wow. That kind of sucks. Let's send you down there. It's going to take you like 5 turns in order to get over there, but it'll absolutely be worth it. Okay, we've got 16 intelligence now. We've got 1 intelligence each and every turn from our rule of law stats and the other one from internet security. So let's see if we can try and work on our corruption rating. This is probably going to be a little bit difficult to do. Yeah, so we're going to now transition to a rigid rule of law. And that is hopefully going to keep us good. Is there anything else that we can do right now that will increase our rule of law? Probably not. Probably not. I believe, by the way, that the policies and texts are kind of different based on the ministers, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, look at this. Hold on, we got a whole bunch of other ministries that are not filled. Okay, what is this? Citizenship? Do we care about this at all? Limited, non-existent. This doesn't matter. This doesn't matter for me at the moment. Justice, negligent policing, bureaucratic policing, public safety. I think maybe bureaucratic policing is probably what we're after. It's going to cost me more, but I think that I'm absolutely in favor of it. Fair justice, fast justice. Yeah, we need to work on it. Also, foreign affairs, we need to consider our foreign affairs position as well. Either way, I'm not super displeased with that at all. Oh my goodness, so much money. So much money. Rural, no, I'm afraid you're gonna have to make do with negative one health. The welfare of your liberal citizens is something that we remain concerned about. We urge you to increase their approval. Sure, I can agree to that. Thank you, we do appreciate it. Improve liberal approval in Basenji. And yeah, we will endeavor to increase that as much as we possibly can. My diplomatic reputation, by the way, is not going anywhere fast. We have a target reputation of 4, and yeah, we're not increasing that. We're not increasing that. We are trying our best. We are trying our best to change stuff. Hold up. I said that this didn't matter. Oh, this is unlocked with a policy research from a minister. Okay, well, that's a bit of a shame. Let's move this up here. Sure. Justice. Fair justice? Yeah, I think that we're after fair justice, actually. Yes, that's gonna improve. That's gonna improve pretty much everything. Yeah, this is pretty much exactly what we're after. However, my budgetary situation is now very, very bad. I've spent rather a large amount of money, and we need to seriously think about how we're going to increase our cash just a little bit more. Yeah, this is a little bit less than ideal. I mean, is it worth us getting a bauxite mine here? Straight up might be, you know? It might be. It really might be. How much would it give? How much would it, how much would it be worth upgrading one of our mines? 20% production increase? Maybe. Requires 25 bucks and 1 star from a minister. I'm not sure that that's really worth it at this moment in time. Maybe at some point in the future. Liberal approval. There's almost certainly something that we can build in order to fix liberal approval. What is it? What is it? A hotel, a market. A market seems pretty good, actually. A market seems pretty freaking good if we want to increase prosperity, which I think we absolutely do. Faith assembly, military base, forward operating base. Okay, turns out that there is not any way to increase liberal approval without using policies. That's somewhat of a problem. Internet censorship. We can turn off internet censorship. Yeah, if we turn off internet censorship, then that's gonna change everything. The only problem is that we're not gonna gather intel each and every turn, but the outcome is that we should be able to make everything work. Let's keep you on toll roads for now. I want to collect a little bit of extra cash. And to be honest, I'm thinking that maybe we try and Minister of Development. The personal budget of the Minister of Development. Who is the Minister of Development? That's you. Oh, you are very, very expensive, apparently. Your department is very, very expensive to run. Okay, tourism data. We have probably exactly 0 tourists. Kind of figures, to be honest. All right, well, it's only been a couple of turns, and I'm liking what we've got going here, to be honest. We're still surveying, and we're surveying at a particularly aggressive rate. So I'm really, really hoping that we're going to find something good. All right, what do we got? Teachers are on strike. They're demanding more competitive wages. Here's the thing. We're going to have to wait them out. The strike is not legal. Have them arrested. I'm not paying $60 in order to increase education access, so therefore we have to take this. The teacher strike has expanded nationwide. Oh my goodness. Oh boy. Okay, refuse to meet their demands. It sucks, but that's life. Unfortunately, you have to do that from time to time. We absolutely have to do that. Right. I mean, what did we need in order to improve our relations with the states? We still need a rule of law greater than 6. Are we en route to that? I feel like we must be en route to that. Rule of law is now 4. That ain't too bad. Diplomatic influence has actually increased a little bit. You know what? We could be able to get that. Increasing liberal opinion is still a problem. What do you need? Aluminium, gold bars, household goods, luxury goods. Does anyone want... Yeah, you want processed foods. I think maybe we see if we can try and get some processed foods manufactured. Right, so if we go into construction here, we don't need a mine. We don't need an oil refinery. We do need a plastics factory and also a manufacturing plant, which may very well be just a smidgeroony too much cash to endure. Let's put this over here. Sure. So this is the plastics factory. This is going to take oil, and we don't actually have any oil supply at the moment. Missing road connection to a manufacturing plant that demands our product. Yeah, I think we're going to try and take out a loan. This is, you know, of course, truly a fantastic decision-making process that I have right here. But we're going to see if we can try and take out a loan. I think this is the best play. Let's issue bonds. $13 a month at 18 months. 234 bucks to repay, but it's absolutely worth it, I think, if we are able to. Do we still have enough workers in this region? Yeah, we got a couple of workers. We got a couple of workers free. All right, so build a manufacturing plant. Hold on. Yep, manufacturing plant. That's what we're after. Whoops. Boop. Must be built next to a town. Ah, yes, indeed. We'll build it over here. This is our capital province anyway, so that's just fine. What should this factory produce? This factory should produce processed food. Requires food and plastic. We should be able to make this at the moment. We got 108 food. We got 98 demand for food, so there should be a little bit of extra food to go around, which is kind of nice. Oil, on the other hand, I'm not completely convinced. What do we got? Goods sold 90. Yeah, I'm not completely convinced that we're going to be able to... Goods sold 140. I'm not completely sure that we've got enough free oil production in order to manufacture plastic. It's definitely worth a shot, though. What about up here? What do we got going on? Oh, yeah, we can actually do this exploration. So let's go and do it. Let me see what we've got here. Education, by the way, is in a really, really bad place. We can always cut a whole bunch. No, really? Nothing? All right, well, that sucks. We can always cut a whole bunch of services if we need to. I'd rather not, though, for reasons that I'm sure you can understand. It's going to make everything just much more difficult. Increase funding to the police. Oh, man, I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. Let's do this. Shift the blame to Karifi minorities. Sure. I really don't think that I can afford any additional, like, extra monetary outgoings at this moment in time. It really is... It really is that bad. Anyway, are we able to manufacture processed food now? We absolutely are. Food production is 1, which is great. Now we just need to find somewhere to sell it, because frankly, I don't think that I want to... I don't think that I want to... Ooh, good sold. Did we sell plastic? Apparently we absolutely did. That's great. Destination is either plastic food or... Yeah, we want it to all go towards processed food at this moment in time. And after here, we're going to say, hey, you go abroad. Yeah, let's have a little look-see on the diplomacy overview. Let's call you up, see how you're going. Negotiate trade. Processed food. I'm not convinced, to be honest. Anticipated export capacity. Yeah, so it's not really registered quite yet. Again, this could very well be in part due to the fact that we just don't have enough oil, because all of our oil is disappearing abroad. Maybe it is straight up worth an upgrade. Let's freaking go. Let's spend some points. Let's increase the production by a little bit as well. Can we do anything with plastic? I don't suppose that anyone wants to buy plastic, do they? No, nobody's really interested in buying plastic at all. All right, well, diplomacy on the whole, it seems to be going quite well. Rule of law is improving. Climate change is not great. Diplomatic influence trending to 4 points. Oh, that's great. Current rating is 2.7. Are we going to be able to trend up there in time? I hope we are. Let's sincerely hope that we are. Do I also just want to maybe think about getting this bauxite production facility? Commodity prices. Uranium, plastics. Yeah, but nobody wants plastics. Does anyone want bauxite? Does anyone want bauxite? Aluminium. Somebody does want aluminium. That's kind of nice. Luxury goods, processed foods. Okay, apparently we're going to be able to make this work. Let's stick down a mine right over here. Cost us unbelievably large amount of money. Build roads. Excuse me. Excellent. Road built for $5. Easy peasy. Then we will get a smelter over here. Construct in grasslands, desert, or hills. We'll do it over there. Sure. Again, we're putting a lot of weight on this. Missing a road connection to a manufacturing plant that demands our product. Yeah, can we not just immediately queue for export? If I go into diplomacy here, and then I call you up, and I say, hey, are you after aluminium? Anticipated export capacity is around about $40. Yeah, I'm gonna propose this, and you're gonna be happy. You're gonna be happy about this. We're still losing money. We're still losing money real quick. You're Babelistan. That's fine. Let's make sure that we got a road connection over there. Road connection is here. Need to make sure that we've got a connection. There we go. Road built for one Basenji buck. All right, surveying. We're still doing surveying. This is good. This is looking pretty good. We're gonna need to have a comprehensive reevaluation of our priorities, I think. Right. Excellency, I heard from an aide in the know that in a recent meeting with several religious leaders in Karif, Minister Badur made troubling offhand comments about your lack of faith in the old ways and failure to inspire piety among the people. I thought you should know. Thank the minister for visiting Karif on your behalf? Yeah. Yeah, let's work on my relationship with my ministers, as opposed to worrying about religious or secular power. Also, there's an insurgent here. This is a bit of a problem, so we got to do something about that. Also, looks like we're a little bit low on the old food here, which is less than ideal. Thankfully, I've already got an inventory unit that we can use to try and take out this this enemy over here. That's cool. Don't know where the rebel camp actually is, but the Basenji Liberation Front are a threat to our national security. It's true. They absolutely categorically are. Also, we need to pop down one more field, and we're going to do it over here as well. There we go. Need to get it done. Need to get it done because we need a little bit of extra foods. And the UN aid camps are not going to suffice forever. Okay, that's looking pretty darn good. Diplomatic reputation. Is my diplomatic reputation going to get to a decent place soon? It is actually. We've got, what, 3 months remaining to get it to 3.2. It's going to trend to 4, so that's great. Rule of law is improving and is trending to 6.5, so that's great. There's a little bit of lag time there. My diplomatic influence is also trending to 4. I mean, that's great. My liberal approval rating is not as good as it could be, but it's not bad. I mean, if I have a little look at liberal approval rating, yeah, it's not terrible. The bad stuff is going to start happening very, very soon because we need to find a way to fix this massive deficit that just apparently is here. I think that we're probably going to have to just completely cut. I mean, we can start off by cutting subsidies to pretty much every province because it's pretty prosperous. Safety as well. Let's cut public safety. Public safety is already pretty darn high. I'd really like if we could not lose all of our money in the process. Keep a couple of these on, but the other ones we will take down health. The reason being is that if we've already got like high levels of health in a couple of our provinces, if we can keep these values high, then we can continue to subsidize the other ones because we'll be able to reduce the subsidies that we're paying to the already high health areas. Education is bad pretty much everywhere, so I think we're going to try and maybe actually boost that. Conservation. That's going. Conservation is going. What else? Tourism and special events. I mean, who really cares about tourism and special events, right? Reduce that. Okay, this is going to make a lot of people very upset. I appreciate that. We're going to confirm changes. This is going to give us a little bit of income, though, and that's kind of great. Kind of happy with that. Need a rule of law rating of 6. We're going for that. We are absolutely going for that. All right. I think we're probably going to have to train some more troops, by the way. Almost certainly we're going to have to train some more troops. We will deal with that. There's an enemy in this area. Okay, fundamentalists are requesting that we turn the Old Ways religious festival into a national holiday. Reject the new national holiday. Yeah. Okay, so lower religious approval ratings, but that's fine. Ministry of Development. Would likely prove a powerful ally if we improve our relationship with them. Wait, what am I doing here? Oh, I literally need to make Babelistan an ally. Which one's Babelistan? Was it the first one that we were trading with? Understood. I mean, I have to accept, but frankly, I'm not exactly loving that. So we need to try and ally these peeps. We've got 2 months remaining, and our diplomatic influence is increasing swiftly, but I just don't know if it's increasing swiftly enough. We're gonna call, see what we've got going on. Exchange gossip. Spend a favor from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Yeah, we don't have anyone in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, do we? Proposing free trade honestly seems like a great idea, but we don't have anyone in Foreign Affairs at the moment, so there we go. International diplomacy, international security. What do I care about? I think we'll prioritize diplomacy for the short term. Climate leadership's a really good one. Yeah, okay, prioritize diplomacy. Prioritize diplomacy just so that we can guarantee that we get this diplomatic influence reputation up to the appropriate level. Excellency, while you are handling the affairs of state, I've developed plans for new public policy. Long-range air-to-surface missiles to mount on your helicopters. Great. How very useful. I appreciate that. Honestly, keep on deciding. Keep on deciding what you want to do. You've discovered a carbon market. What is that? Upper limit is set on the carbon of a private business may produce. Further capacity may be purchased. I mean, I think that we're not going to have that on at this moment in time, although it would increase the environment and a whole bunch of climate leadership stuff, so that's maybe worth considering at some point in the future. Yeah. Man, everything is looking so dicey now that I've cut... Now that I've cut all of the funding to the provinces, it's...
Excellency?
It's somewhat disappointing. No noteworthy resource deposits there.
Very well.
Fine. What else we got going on? Where are you? Surveyors over here. Yeah, you got a little while to go. Soldiers are still moving down to the center of the map for good reason. They're hopefully going to take out the troops. All right, what do we got going on? What have we got going on here? Excellency, I should remind you the next month marks the 5th anniversary of the Basenji Revolution. You will, of course, be expected to make a public statement. Are there any other events you would like planned with this historic day? Close all businesses and hold a mourning for those lost. +1 loyalty for military units. Yeah, when we get into the combat of this game, we'll chat about loyalty and whatnot. I'll take the military loyalty. I just don't want to spend the money. I'm super aware of the fact that I have very, very limited funding available. Relationship approved. Great. We are pleased to see you take diplomatic influence as seriously as we do. Indeed. Excellency, my constituents are requesting a nature preserve. Banifa. Okay. You want a nature preserve over here? I mean, I can probably do that. Build a nature preserve here? Yeah. Are this... Yeah, they're still moving.
On our way.
Let's move out. Move out. All right, what have you got? Toll roads. Nice. Increases traffic congestion, but it increases our money. Between 26 and 36, between 8 and 14. Oh, wow. That's actually kind of huge. That's actually kind of huge. How much are we projected for toll roads, actually? Policy taxes, I think it's 16. I think it's 16. That's not bad at all. 28 projected income. Almost probably worth us, like, pumping some money back into...
On our way.
Back into a few things. Offshore banking? Yes, offshore banking. So, this gives us just one extra a turn. Legal immigrant approval, prosperity. I presume that this is prosperity for, like, the entirety of the nation, but I guess we'll see. I think that we're okay doing this for at least a little while. All right, international security is not necessarily a big deal. Rule of law is actually kind of important. We've hit 6 rule of law, which is kind of nice, right? We've hit the requirements. I think that we might be able to do that next time. That's pretty darn good. Okay, any more surveying that we need to do? Not necessarily. Any more construction that we necessarily need to do? Not particularly. We could really do with maybe getting rid of some of our processed food. At the moment, my population is literally only demanding food. They're not demanding processed food, although I believe that the population will start to demand... Yep, there we go. Look, the population will start to demand more and more sophisticated items over time. So there's a little bit of demand for processed food there. Can we maybe... Oh, we're so close to hitting liberal approval rating, by the way. We just haven't hit it yet. Maybe we call up you. It's... What? I guess this explains why... they're after processed food? Sure. Great, thank you.
So, does the chicken talk, or...?
I think it just clucks and they
pretend I understand what it's saying.
So this is what? A big joke? Everybody's in on it?
Yeah, but they're so in on it that it's not a joke anymore.
How long do chickens live?
I think they just replace the chicken every few years and hope nobody notices.
I would notice.
I know you would notice, Yusuf. I know.
Oh, they've got such a nice little bit of banter going on. Oh, that's great. Sometimes they're starting to demand processed food. All businesses are closed today. It's because it's the... it's because it is the festival time. Cool. All right.
Excellency.
Excellency, excellency, excellency. Let's move out. Let's move out. Civilians at work, indeed. Let's go fast mode, because we don't need to watch civilians work. Okay. All right, oil prices spike. Well, I mean, that's great. 29 and 55. Wow, that's a lot. We should maybe think about actually improving the...
Very well.
We should maybe seriously start to think about improving the quality of our provinces. But to be honest, why would I really bother about that? Improve relationship with this. Current relationship 38. Target relationship is 42. Wait, what is it? Babalistan? What can we do to make them like us? Set immigrant quota? I mean, I don't think that I'm necessarily really bothered about that, to be honest. I think we're really just after trade. Gold bars would be kind of good. Luxury goods would be kind of good. Let's think on this a little while. In the meantime, we can actually build a nature reserve here. Construction, nature reserve. It's going to cost us 80 bucks. It's quite a lot of money. Quite a lot of money, but it's okay. It will mean that we can increase, our relationship with a minister here. So what did we get? We got chemical weapons policy. Okay, that's kind of contrary to the idea of a nature reserve, but that's okay. Mortar units deliver +1 damage against infantry units. That's kind of cool. And also, you gave me a favor. That's cool. That's very, very nice. Meet with lobbyist, exchange 1 favor for 60 bucks. Exchange 1 favor for 6 intelligence. Yeah, we can do that for both of these, actually. Yeah, I kind of like this, to be honest. No, not that. I kind of like the fact that we were able to get that favor done. That's nice. Liberal opinion. Liberal opinion is somewhat of a priority. Is it worth us upgrading the farm? Almost certainly not. I think we just want to build more farms. Yeah, build more farms. Good stuff. Get it done. All right, that's more and more and more food. So there's gonna be a lot of demand, right? There's gonna be a lot of demand on processed food. It almost makes me think if we need to get another facility at some point. We'll see. We'll see. It's not necessarily a priority. Not necessarily a priority at all. We are making so much money that it's almost going too well. All right. My constituents are requesting a stadium in Benifa. Why is everything going to be built over here? I mean, we can do that. I will do that, but that seems like a little bit of a daft place. A little bit of a daft place for it to be. Right. Can we increase some of our funding here? Everything is starting to go slightly crazy. Public safety. Is public safety really a priority? No, it's not. We should try and fund... We should try and fund, like, education. We should try and fund education if we can. Because low education scores upset everyone, but Basenji's liberals will be particularly unhappy. Let's double education budgets across the board. Let's reset. In fact, if I just reset everything, right? Okay, that didn't reset to default. It reset to before. Alright, that's fine. Alright. So literally Literally everything up to normal. Right. So that's actually not like a tremendously bad bottom line right there. Like that's very, very okay. And once the loans disappear, we're gonna be sitting pretty. I'm telling you, toll roads are great. Okay. What do we want to do? Do we want to appoint a minister? Maybe we do want to appoint a minister, to be honest. I think I'll take a foreign minister. It has to be you. Brilliant. Congratulations. Welcome on board. Just keep prioritizing whatever you're doing. And I would Chicken Stanny Dictionary. Oh my goodness. That's entertainment value. That's actually hilarious. You know what? Research whatever you want. Research whatever you want. I know that you're inexperienced. That's fine. Not a big deal. Traffic congestion is contributing to pollution. Ooh, traffic congestion is a little bit spicy here. Yeah, probably could have avoided this by maybe making it a little bit easier to get around this area. I mean, if we want to build like an extra road, would that work? Okay. I have no idea how traffic is simulated in this game. This is... Your guess is as good as mine. We're gonna try this. Okay, how's the inventory looking?
On our way.
Cool, keep it coming. Alright, we still need to find that camp. We're working on it. Okay, surveyors are looking good. Insurgents are looking good. Some geocachers exploring our mountain range stumbled upon a deeply disturbing find, a mass grave inside a cave network. Several hundred bodies that have been uncovered. We can't afford to agitate tensions. Keep this suppressed for now. Absolutely. Let's not tell anyone about this. Basenji's poor reputation internationally reflects foreigners' impressions of and investment in our beautiful region. We ask that you consider putting more effort into your diplomatic influence. Sure, I can, but to be honest, if I turn off my whole policy on offshore bank accounts, then I'm sure that it'll probably be okay. Diplomatic reputation. Policies prioritize diplomacy. Yeah, we're actually gonna get there, I think. Oh no, hold on. Offshore banking is international security, so that's fine. Diplomatic influence, how on earth am I going to increase that? Can I maybe look at something in the foreign affairs area? We're prioritizing diplomacy already. International diplomacy, join maritime accord. Join climate accord. Both of them decrease prosperity, which I'm not exactly thrilled about. Join the climate accord. This is going to take years in order to research, by the way, because this guy is not qualified at all. That's fine.
Excellency?
Excellency, on our way.
Okay. Keep it coming. Oh, there's an insurgent here.
Excellency, on our way.
Oh, there we go. As you can see, a little bit of combat right there. The way that this works, the way that combat works is very, very simple.
Excellency.
As you can see, can attack infantry brigades, mortar brigades. Same with these chumps over here. Pretty sure they're basically just the same. The important thing to consider is loyalty. So if you end up, using your units for stupid things, then their loyalty will decrease. And if their loyalty decreases, then they just run away. And you don't really want that to happen. Right, liberal opinion. How have we not hit this yet? How have we not hit this? I thought I would fix it by increasing the education budget. Apparently not. That's too much. It's too much. It's too much. It's far too much. Is there any building that will increase liberal opinion? I don't think that there actually is. Which is part of the problem, because we've already We've already considered this, if I'm not mistaken. Fine. We're gonna have to find a policy. Open internet. Yeah, we've already got the open internet. Exploitation. So, if we treat the environment like garbage, then we will increase the environment, but we'll also increase liberal approval. I mean, I don't love that, to be honest. What about a progressive tax system? Yeah, let's do that. Okay, progressive tax system, sure. Easy peasy. Is there anything that needs to be done right now? You are a surveyor.
Excellency.
You need to survey. Hey, you discovered an oil deposit. Very nice. Very, very nice indeed. I think we immediately build on this, right? There we go. Alright, then we want to grab a road. We want to build a road right down over there. And then we want to go into diplomacy and see if we can maybe find somebody else to give oil. Right. Nope. Sorry, not you. You. Yes. Negotiate trade. Oil. Can we increase? Can we increase our export further? Apparently not. Is that because it just doesn't show up on the list of available exports quite yet? We might have to wait until the next turn. We'll wait until the next turn, and then we can make our decision with regards to what we're gonna do with oil. I also don't know if surveyors can actually be attacked. Excellency, the United States and the EU have requested that we join in voluntary sanctions against Babelistan for their continued human rights abuses. Refuse to join sanctions. Yeah, let's refuse to do that. Because I need to improve relations in order to make one of my ministers happy. So that's what we're going to do. Right, so can we now sign a trade deal with somebody? That would be really good if at all possible. Right.
On our way.
Let's get that kill. Nice. Now, you should regenerate HP at the end of your turn if you are not taking any damage. They've got control over the facility. Oh, that's bad. So all of our Chickenistan exports will be held up over there. Right. Can I get a airborne unit? Sure. Let's get a freaking airborne unit. I would also like to expedite. There we go. For Basenji indeed. Okay, what do you got? We're pleased to hear that our relationship with Babelistan has improved. I've developed plans for new public policy, deregulate taxes. What does that do? Basenji approval, reduce prosperity, reduce public safety. Okay. All right, that's not the end of the world. It's not great, but it's not bad either. How on earth is my liberal approval? My liberal approval has been hit. I did it. I freaking did it. And yet here we are. Okay, current reputation. Did I have a roadmap on how to fix this? I didn't. Do we want to end up tanking our prosperity in order to actually make it work? There was something that we were going to do. Stewardship perspective. What was it? I can't even remember. I cannot even for the life of me remember what it was. Diplomatic influence. Diplomatic influence. Yeah. We were doing this, but that's not going to happen. Offshore banking. I'm not sure that we can actually do this, to be honest. This is somewhat of a problem. This is going to be somewhat of a problem. Yeah, I'm not sure that we can hit that mark. Climate leadership is not a problem. Climate leadership is no big deal, but we'll see. Okay. Anything that needs to get done
Excellency.
this turn particularly?
Excellency.
You're still heading down here.
Very well.
There we go. And
Excellency. on
we'll
our
actually
way.
drag you down this way, even though you don't necessarily need to be moving, but that should be fine. You should be able to recover a little bit of HP. Oh, immigrants are arriving. We're pleased that your government is taking care of liberal citizens. Excellent. We've absolutely, definitely, we're not super close to failing that objective. Good to see.
Excellency.
Your HP should be recovering. Is it maybe because you just need to stand still? All right, let's get you to halt, and then we'll maybe consider that at some point in the future. We're fine for food at the moment. Protests are being reported. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's somewhat of a problem. I mean, I'm unhappy with our tax policies. Unhappy with our tax policies. What are our tax policies? Could somebody please tell me? Let me go into Minister of Finance. Progressive tax system. Have we got a lot of conservatives over there? There's no real reason, by the way, that we can't just swap this back. That might stop the protests, actually. I know it's not great to be constantly chopping and changing your tax policy, but yeah, it's fine. Let's go into diplomacy. Let's call you up. Let's see if we can try and negotiate trade. See if we can try and increase our export oil, if it's all possible. Repeal trade agreements. Yeah. Okay. How very selfish. Yeah, but I'm going to renegotiate. Renegotiate 60. Okay, apparently that just... Oh, there we go. We can do it. We can go up to 90 now. If we do it in 2 trade agreements. Okay. I'm not really sure why that was the case. Am I just going crazy? Either way, it doesn't particularly matter. I have no idea how we're going to get our diplomatic influence up here. This is highly, highly, highly problematic, but it's not necessarily the end of the world. A stadium in Banifa. Also, we need to probably fund Saba a little bit more. Yeah, so let's go into the provincial overview here and have a little look at exactly what's going on. We want to look at Saba. Yeah, this is what's going on in Saba. So conservatives are deeply unhappy. Liberals are pretty happy. Immigrants are pretty happy at the moment. It's mostly just the conservative approval rating in Saba. Okay, well, you know what? We can actually take targeted action in order to fix this. So if we get a... what was it? Immigrant approval, urban approval, hospitality, beach resorts, holy place. Was it literally a military base? I was going to get a clandestine site, or perhaps an intelligence agency, actually. That's kind of perfect for what we need. I'm going to go to the next turn and then build a clandestine site over here. Okay. Environmentalists are concerned about the poaching of protected species. Rural approval in Saba. We can't do that. We cannot do that. Accept a bribe from the poachers. I'm really sorry. There is no way. There is no way that we can...
Excellency. For Basenji.
No way that we can deal with that. All right, what do you got? You've researched a casino. Congratulations. That's great. We can now build casinos. Very, very cool. The fact that there are protests that are happening is... Yeah, it's not great. Karifi situation is unsustainable. An ecological mess. All right, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to build a clandestine... Nope, we're going to build a intelligence agency. Construct adjacent to a town. That's right over there. Then, we're going to basically see if we can try and throw as much money into Saba as we possibly can. Exploit asset. Get yourself some dirt on a prominent VIP. Maybe we could do that. Train an intelligence officer. We do need to find a way of generating intelligence, and we do not have it at the moment. Okay, let's go into review budget. Saba. Conservation. Right. So, we should immediately see basically a massive impact in Saba, and everything should be happy. 1 month remaining to build a stadium here. I don't think that we're going to be able to build another stadium in Banifa. Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. That's a bit of a problem. I didn't really factor that into the equation. Not like it really matters, though, to be honest. I think we'll be just fine. Honestly, getting on top of the Saba problem, I would consider as perhaps a bigger problem. Chinese government is offering to sell advanced military helicopters. We'll take 3. Minus a favor? Yeah, I'll take 3, please. That's very cool. We may technically run out of money, but that's okay. All right. I need your assistance raising our approval within the citizens of Saba. Yes, I will absolutely do that.
Excellency. For Excellency.
Yeah, we gotta kind of retreat a little bit over here.
Excellency,
Bauxite.
very well.
Okay, cool. Anything else? Surveyor over here. Excuse me?
Excellency,
Come down over there. Nice. Pretty good.
Excellency. For Basenji.
Okay, we need to move more helicopters in for sure. Airborne helicopters. Also, look at Saba, by the way. Saba is now looking real good. Their approval ratings have shot right up. What do we need to improve it to? 39? I think we're going to hit that, to be honest. I think we're going to hit that, and I don't think we're going to hit that easily. What have you got? I wanted to voice my displeasure that our government did not build a stadium. Yeah, I appreciate that you're not super happy. If we don't hit that, then the person is going to be unhappy with us. I'm fine. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. I think that that's absolutely okay. Right. On that note, ladies and gents, we're actually going to wrap this up. This has been Rogue State Revolution. We've barely scratched the surface on this game. However, I hope that you can see that it's a deeply clever game because it mirrors the real world and it mirrors the trade-offs that you have to make when you are governing a nation, even one as great as Basenji. So thank you as ever for watching the video. Thank you as ever for the fantastic support over on the Patreon page, patreon.com/potato, if indeed you're interested in helping make videos like this possible. Thank you ever so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.